Hey YouTube, it's Mark.
And Rocky.
And we are
This Cruise Life.
We just spent 10 magnificent days on board Virgin Voyages.
That's right, we were on the Resilient Lady, and we are so excited to share everything that happened on this voyage. So, stick around for what we loved,
what we didn't love,
and what we hated. Before we jump in, I just want to let you know that we have booked dozens of people on their very own Virgin Voyages sailings. And with that, I've thrown several perks and surprises along the way. So please reach out and let me help you get booked on your very own Virgin Voyage.
In true This Cruise Life fashion, we're going to jump in to talk about what we loved. We're starting with the food, and we're going to start with the included food.
Well,
Oh, wait. On a Virgin Voyages cruise, it's all included food. So let's start with the fast casual options, entering the galley, which is kind of the buffet of the ship. But on Virgin, there are no buffets.
no sticky tongs.
It's just a bunch of fast casual restaurants. I personally love Let's Taco About It, where they've got yummy chorizo breakfast burritos, they've got tacos for lunch, and all sorts of delicious Mexican food.
Let's look at Bento Baby, where they've got sushi that is made fresh every single day, and it is included in your cruise fare. That sushi was so good. One of my favorite spots up there.
The Thai curry ramen bowls at Noodle Around, that's another favorite.
And the fact that they have these really convenient pager systems, so you can walk up to any of those counters, order the food that you want, they give you a pager, and you sit down until it's ready. Or you can raise your ahoy flag, and a server will come by, take your order, and deliver it when the food is made. Oh, it's such a cool concept.
I love it. And there is food available all hours of the day. So until 2 a.m., you can go to the pizza place and get that truffle egg pizza.
That white
and
truffle and egg is so good.
the barbecue chicken. They've got daily rotating flavors, so don't miss out there.
And Diner and Dash is open 24 hours a day, so you can get some amazing, nice eats that you can enjoy any hour of the day.
Can I just tell you, it puts some of those other cruise lines' late night offerings to shame.
Now, as we head into the ship, you can go to the social club. This is a great place for all the trivias, but they also have quick food options, from multiple different hot dog options to pretzels with beer cheese, as well as some sweet treats for yourself. So you can get some candies and Rice Krispie treats. Oh my.
You've also got the dock, which has food all day long, quick bites and casual fare. You also have Opa Hour back on the dock at the aft of the ship, where you can get little Greek bites and meze platters and just all sorts of amazing food.
Oh, so good. And while you're in the ship, don't forget to grab your dessert at Lick Me Till Ice Cream. Oh, they have some amazing flavors, multiple different cone types, and they have rotating flavors of the day, so don't miss that.
The final quick bite that I'll mention is up on deck 16 at the Sun Club Cafe. They've got those amazing bao buns. They've got some carrot hummus dip. There's just all sorts of snacks. So when you're up sunning yourself, you can get food too.
Well, that's everything that was included for the quick bites. Now let's talk about the specialty restaurants on board.
GUNBAE, GUNBAE, GUNBAE. This was our group's favorite spot on board. We had the entire table to our group, which made it extra special. It's the Korean barbecue where they cook the food for you right there. We had so much chicken. Never ever let Jeff order the chicken again, because you will just end up with so much on the table, but it was amazing.
And one of our favorite places that we found on board is Razzle Dazzle. Oh, the food here is amazing. Do not miss that lamb shank. It is fall off the bone.
Okay, or the carrots. I don't know why carrots are a main dish, but they were amazing. They've got pierogies and rotating menu items. It's just a great spot for dinner.
I will say that our group loved this venue so much that we found ourselves going back for a second round before the end of our 10-night cruise.
It was our final dinner. We loved it so much. But it's not just dinner at Razzle Dazzle. Their brunch is fantastic. I always order that watermelon that has yogurt and granola and frozen berries.
I'm about the acai bowl.
Okay, I guess. But what it really is about at Razzle Dazzle is their thick cut bacon at brunch. I mean, honestly, it brings a tear to my eye.
And thanks to our 10-night sailing, we had the opportunity to try Test Kitchen for all three menus, A, B, and C. This gastronomic experience is unlike anything else. It's a 5-course meal, and their menus are just simple words. You don't know what's coming next.
Now, some cruisers don't love this experience, but we absolutely do, and highly recommend you at least try it out.
Try the mushroom.
Speaking of things you have to try, the enchiladas at Pink Agave. Absolutely, probably my favorite bite of food there.
They were so good, we ordered extras. We also really loved Extra Virgin. Their food there was amazing, wonderful service, and don't miss the affogato at the end of your meal.
Or the charcuterie board at the beginning of your meal, or the pastas, the fresh pastas. I mean, we all loved that meal. The other thing that I love in the food on Virgin Voyages is how much attention they have to allergies. Every single server, at whether it was in the galley or at one of the restaurants, asked about any allergies. I mentioned the avocado, and they always made sure to make note of that on the ordering.
Well, that's everything that we loved about the food on board Resilient Lady. There's a lot of really good food, and you're not going to leave hungry.
No.
Let's change gears now and talk about the drinks.
What we love about the drinks on Virgin Voyages starts at sail away. Now, this has been true in every voyage we've been on, and it is that free champagne, and they make sure that you don't go empty-handed. Sometimes we're double fisting with the champagne. They are super generous. Virgin, thank you for doing that on sail away.
Now, we are part of the sailing club that Virgin has to offer, and it's really easy to get in. You can do a status match, which is really nice. Because of that, we are invited to a welcome back party, and again, there is unlimited amounts of champagne. They also have sangrias up there, and it is flowing hot.
And it was just fun to interact with fellow Virgin Voyagers. The other place that we had drinks was the test kitchen. I love that they've got a pairing menu that you can pair each of those courses with a different drink. Now, what I will say is I've learned over my voyages, I don't need to do it again. The drinks are just okay. They're small portions, but I do love that they offer a wine pairing, a cocktail pairing, or even a beer pairing.
That's right, and a mocktail pairing if you don't want the alcohol. Right. And lastly, our experience at GUNBAE, we've already talked about it in the food section, but wow, we played GUNBAE. I was the winner from the table. Thank you very much. And anytime that you lose, you get one shot of soju. Well, our servers loved us so much, we lost count of how many shots of soju we went through.
The soju just kept flowing. It was such a great experience. Okay, that's what we love about the drinks. Let's talk about entertainment.
There is so much to talk about with the entertainment on Virgin Voyages. This section is going to take a minute. Starting with our very first steps onto the ship, the Happenings cast was right there greeting everyone with smiles on their faces, just excited to get the voyage going. Awesome touch.
That first night, we went to the opening show with Love, the hostess, where she sang to us. In fact, Rocky even may have gotten up on stage and shown his dancing moves.
Watch out. Speaking of the hostess, we also went to the Hostess Sings Her Cabaret over at On the Rocks. It was an amazing performance, super touching, felt very postmodern jukebox style.
Yes.
Wonderful, and enjoyed that. And another show that we went to was Diva Fever. Now, this show is very unique to the Resilient Lady right now, and it was a lot of fun. I enjoyed watching the diva interact with the sailors inside the manor. It was pretty cool.
It's pretty awesome. We love that there is a drag show on a cruise ship. Now, I will say it didn't have quite the same energy as Around the World in 80 Minutes, but still absolutely loved that show.
And another one of those pop-up shows that we visited was the Charmer in On the Rocks, where he performed some of his magic. That was really fun and impressive.
Yep. We loved the PJ party where you dress up in your pajamas and you go out and you dance, and the Happenings cast is there and they dance. The diva's there, she dances. There's warm chocolate chip cookies. Now, unfortunately for our sailing, there was inclement weather, so they had to move it down into the manor, which totally understand that. But what I don't understand is why Virgin Voyages can't figure out the cooling in that space.
Yeah.
It was so hot for any of the nightclub events, the PJ party, etc. You'd think that they could turn on the air conditioning.
I'm certain it was on already. And then another event that we absolutely loved on this sailing was Scarlet Night. It is the night of all nights with Virgin Voyages. Every sailing has it, and it was a blast. Starting with all of the stories and each of the Happenings cast telling you their version of Scarlet Night and the Octopus, and then moving up onto deck where the deck party takes place. Wildly entertaining, so much fun, all of the dancing, and then the pool party starts.
Don't forget the singing as well. The diva's out there, she's singing, the hostess is out there.
Yes.
Like, it is the event of all cruise ship events.
Yes, it is.
Later on in the cruise, we got to see Persephone, which honestly, I still don't quite know what happened, but it was amazing. Again, dancing, singing, acrobatics, aerialists. It was amazing. It tells the story of Persephone and the Greek gods and Hades and the pomegranate seeds. It was just amazing. We went multiple times. We loved it so much.
We did. And another show that we've seen on Valiant Lady makes its triumphant return to Resilient Lady, and that is the Misbehave show, one of our other all-time favorite shows on a cruise ship. This show is all about having fun and not worrying about what's going on in the world. It's just such a wonderful experience, and I hope you get to enjoy it yourself.
Oh, and remember, the points don't matter.
No.
Now, I will say we did talk to some sailors that didn't understand the concept, why people were just screaming and dancing and singing. And so it might not be for everyone, but it's probably my favorite show on a Virgin Voyages ship.
Yes, and if you happen to see it with Alina and Sebi as your hostesses, tell them Mark and Rocky say hi.
Oh, and by the way, I do love that I got to be part of the first time we went twice. The first show, Sebi actually poured an entire bottle of water onto my head. It was a great time. Please don't do that.
Another show that we went to that was unique to Resilient Lady is Lola's Library. This was a very risque type of performance. We didn't even know what we were going into, but it was a lot of fun watching the interaction of the crew members and the different audience.
The timing in the app may not be right on your voyage. I was stressed because it went an extra 30 minutes and we were late for dinner. So just keep in mind, plan a little bit of buffer time in case that show runs long.
That's a good idea.
We also saw Magic Dave on board, who is the magician that they fly in. We've seen all of his tricks before, but what we loved about Magic Dave is how he engaged with the audience, the comedy that he used. It was a great show and absolutely worth seeing and highly recommend.
And the last of the shows that we absolutely loved was Another Rose. Now, Another Rose is also exclusive to Resilient Lady, but keep in mind it is an upcharge. There's a $50 entrance fee to get into Another Rose, but what a show. It includes dinner, it includes drinks, it includes performance. It's everything that we've talked about so far in this list.
I was mad at first that there was an upcharge, but I ate my words. I absolutely ate my words. I mean, the amount of drinks and the show was amazing. The singing was amazing. Like, it was just, if you get a chance, and it's only on Resilient Lady, if you get a chance, I do recommend going to Another Rose.
And the final thing that we'll talk about in the entertainment category is a fun class that we participated in, and that was bungees. We've never done bungee classes before. It was included in our cruise fare, so we decided, why not? Let's try it out. And oh my gosh, it was so much fun.
All of the fitness classes. We put this in entertainment. I don't know that I would consider fitness entertainment, but we didn't know where else to fitness this in. And so we put it here. All of the fitness classes are included, and that bungee, look at us clap. Woo! It was so much fun.
Well, that is everything that we loved about the entertainment. Now let's shift gears and talk about what we loved about the design of Resilient Lady. Moving into the design, one of my favorite things that you notice when you walk onto the ship is the smell. Oh my gosh, there is some unique scent that Virgin Voyages has made, and it is beautiful. I love it.
You know it instantly.
Yep.
It's instantly Virgin.
It is.
Love that. I also love that Resilient Lady has unique to her shows. So it doesn't feel like every other Virgin ship. You have a new experience every time you go on board.
Yes. And we spoke with our group to find out what they loved. And one of their favorite spaces is one of ours, and that's the dock. Such a great place. It's super quiet all hours of the day and night. You can stargaze there. You can enjoy the OPA hour. Just a fantastic space at the aft of Deck 7.
Speaking of the aft of the ship, up on deck 16, we've got some secret space hot tubs for you. These hot tubs were always empty, and we never found an issue getting into those. We went in with our group a couple of times. Absolutely love that space. Also, speaking of the deck space, there is so much space to lay out and find sun, whether you're at the pool deck or you're at the aft on 16, whether you are down lower on the ship, there's all sorts of places where you can lay out. Now, we did hear some cruisers say that there wasn't enough space around the pool deck, and that might be true. Those spaces fill up, but there is sun. The perch, I didn't even mention the perch. There are so many places that you can lay out and get sun.
And another thing that I love about Virgin Voyages is all of their ships are identical layouts. This makes it easy to navigate your way through the ship.
We also love the Redemption Spa on board. Our friend Jared actually booked a treatment, and his treatment came with a 3-hour pass to the thermal suite, which you can also rent. There are plunge pools, there's a sauna, a steam room, all sorts of space down there.
And the last thing that I'll mention about the design of the ship is how Virgin Voyages lights up their ships when they're in port. Such a cool way to pay homage to the ports of call that they stop in.
Now, let's jump into some miscellaneous things that we loved about our time on Resilient Lady, starting with the embark process. We love the fact that you can drop your bags off early, get your band early so you don't have to wait in long lines with everyone else. And by the time we got on the ship, our bags were already at the room. Love that.
And let's not forget to talk about these wonderful Born Again Virgin shirts that Mark and I are wearing. These got so many comments over the sailing.
Yeah.
It was wonderful. And if you're looking to get one yourself, just head on over to our store, thiscruiselife.com/shop, and you can find the perfect Born Again Virgin for your sailing.
Speaking of merch, oh my gosh, I love how much merch that Virgin Voyages has on Resilient Lady. Oh, there's some more over there. We got t-shirts, we got baseball hats, we got shot glasses. There's so much Virgin Voyages gear as well as Resilient Lady gear. Great job, Virgin.
And in the unlikely event that you have an issue during your voyage, if you need to get in touch with Sailor Services, they make it so fast and easy. You can use the tablet in your cabin, the app on your phone. You can just go down there and talk to Sailor Services. No matter which route it is, they are quick to take care of the situation.
And if you're old-fashioned, there's a dedicated button on your phone in the stateroom as well. Another thing that I also hope that you'll never need is security on board, but this is something that I love about Virgin Voyages. I noticed it at the pool deck one day as we were laying out. There were just security guards stationed there watching all of the happenings that were going on. There were security in the nightclub. There were security in the ports. I absolutely love how safe I felt on this voyage, and we never wondered, where is security, like some other cruise lines?
Speaking of security, when there was a spill on the dance floor in the club, we didn't have to worry about the nightclub shutting down and the lights coming on for them to clean it up. Everything was handled in a super quick and efficient manner, which we loved.
Yes, they just put a chair over the spill. Another thing that we loved how they handled was the pizza fire on board. Yes, there was a fire in the pizza place. We tweeted about it here. Now, they responded super quickly. This is why cruise lines do drills.
Yep.
Put out the fire. Everyone was safe. And they were instantly able to put late night pizza on the buffet. They were able to pivot, and the pizza shop was open the very next day.
And they even sent a notification out on the app to let sailors know, hey, pizza's not available now, but it's going to come back soon. So check the app for when that reopens. Being that we did a 10-night sailing, we got to visit some amazing exotic ports. St. Lucia, Barbados, St. Vincent were all new for me. And Mark had a couple of newbies in there as well. As many cruises as we've been on, this was a fantastic itinerary.
When you sail from San Juan, you're already in the Caribbean. And so to add 10 nights to that, you get to. We only had 2 sea days, though, so I didn't get to nap a whole lot, but I absolutely loved this itinerary.
Yes.
Speaking of things that I loved, relax, debark. We talk about it all the time on this channel. Virgin Voyages invented relax,
Yes,
debark.
they
Let's
did.
be honest. You don't have to be out of your stateroom until like 9:30 at the earliest. It's great. I love sleeping in on debark. Rocky set his alarm for 10 a.m. on debark morning. The galley is open late, so we were able to go up and have more ramen dishes as well as talk about it. It was an awesome relax, debark.
Now switching gears into some crew shout-outs. We had some amazing interactions. Natalia at the Grounds Club was fantastic. Emma at the dock, we saw her everywhere, and she always took good care of us.
Yes. Mika at Another Rose made sure our glasses were never empty. Lisa at the test kitchen.
Searing and Christian over at GUNBAE were amazing.
And Dion at Pink Agave. I mean, literally, we could go on and on. We could spend the next 10 minutes in this video telling you about the crew shoutouts. Our group, especially the first-time Virgin cruisers, said this was the best service they have ever had on a cruise ship. And we agree. Virgin staff is amazing.
And of course, a shout out to the friends that we got to sail with. Brian, Tom, Max, Josh, Jeff, Jared. We had such a great time. We made so many amazing memories.
One of my favorite cruises of all time because of you all, so thank you. And I do want to say a shout out to the Cruisin' Chandlers. It was so great getting to meet them. If you don't already, go ahead and go follow them and tell them Mark and Rocky sent you.
Well, that is everything that we loved about our time on board Virgin Voyages Resilient Lady. Stay tuned.
We cannot leave this section without calling out the fact that this is an adult-only cruise ship.
All right.
That is something that I've got goosebumps. I absolutely love. I love that Wi-Fi is included, sodas are included, the food is included. I love so much about Resilient Lady and Virgin Voyages. We can't leave this section without calling that out.
If Mark hasn't sold you on booking your Virgin Voyage, I don't know what's going to. Hit us up. Let's get you booked.
Okay, now we can jump into what we didn't love about our time on Resilient Lady.
Jumping into what we didn't love about our sailing, the app. While there's been some improvements from our first couple of sailings, it still glitches out, it still resets, and you still have some struggles to navigate through it. Work on that, Virgin Voyages, please.
Speaking of the app, all of the new notifications for shopping, I didn't love that. I don't need to buy your diamonds, Virgin Voyages. I get it. You're trying to get more visits to the shops. And thank you for not making announcements. We should have said that in the love.
Yeah.
There are no announcements saying, come to Effie, everything's on sale. But there are a lot more push notifications in the app about buying diamonds, booking pay events, going to pay things. Like, I didn't love that.
They've made some updates to their safety video, and it's now this animated interactive type of a thing, but it takes 10 minutes to get through. And on top of that, it's in the app, which crashed. Didn't love that.
They make an announcement saying, everyone go do it now. And so everyone tries to do it now, and it's just a frustrating experience. I didn't love some of the cuts that we've seen Virgin Voyages make. So they've cut a couple of spots where you get free champagne. Our friend Jeff said, oh, I didn't expect free champagne here. But that was the beauty of Virgin Voyages. No one expected it. It was those surprise and delight moments that really made the voyage extra special. And so to see some of those things cut, I'm a little bit bummed by it. It didn't have a huge impact on our cruise, but it is something that I noticed as sailing.
Yeah. And with us having so many ports, it was a challenge to fit everything into our schedule. We were so busy every single night of this cruise trying to go to shows and dinner and then more shows. We were exhausted by the time we got off the ship.
And because their dinners are such an amazing experience, they take longer because they're all sit down and they're all made to order, and it's amazing. But it's hard to fit everything in.
It is.
I guess they just want us to come back again. Can we talk about drinks for a minute? The drinks on Resilient Lady were just There was nothing super exciting on the menus. Some of the other cruise lines, there's new specialty drinks, put Virgin Voyages to shame, which is hard to believe considering how elevated everything else is in that experience.
Right. And when we started sailing with Virgin Voyages, the prices were actually very reasonable because there is not a drinks package. Well, we have seen the prices increase. When you want to drink, it's going to cost you $15 or $17. That's quite an increase.
Now, good news, if you call it with house vodkas or gins, the price is still $9, but those menu prices have definitely increased. The other thing that I didn't love about the drinks is on Scarlet Night, they have a specialty cocktail, and they just poured it out of a plastic jug for me and said, here's your specialty cocktail for $15. Didn't love that. It didn't feel like the elevated Virgin experience.
And now let's talk about the wake and our experience there. Unfortunately, we did not have good service here. In fact, most people say that they love the wake, and we've yet to have a wonderful time when we've dined at the wake.
And our entire group agreed that they didn't need to go back to the wake across our sailing, which is sad because it's the steakhouse,
right,
and should be amazing. Food's just meh, and the service
was
not good. We went to bingo with the diva. We went to the late night show thinking, okay, this is going to be great. And it was so slow. Ironically, our friend Brian said, it's weird that the daytime version of this was so much more risque and fun than the nighttime version. Didn't love bingo with the diva.
Now, this is something that was pretty consistent amongst the group, and that was the way that Virgin Voyages handled their shore things or shore excursions. There was no notification within the app. If you booked one of their excursions, you just had to know that tomorrow you have to be off the ship by 8:30.
Unlike other cruise lines, you don't get tickets to the room, and there's really no notifications in the app, and so the group was frustrated. One night we realized at 12:30 in the morning, we're like, we have an excursion in the morning. Shoot, we gotta get to bed.
Now, the way it was handled when you were getting off of the ship was very well organized, and we loved that.
You gave out those cards,
right,
and then they called you by your number. That was really organized.
That was nice. But there needs to be some sort of a notification. They're telling us about everything else that's going on. Why not our shore things?
Now, this was the first voyage on Virgin that we didn't take advantage of the glam station on Scarlet Night because it wrapped all the way around that area. I was really bummed about it, but thank you to our friend Brian who brought his own glam and all of our own glitter for that night.
While we loved the premium Wi-Fi that we had through Deep Blue Extras, The friends that we have that had the standard Wi-Fi struggled with it. They said that they couldn't have reliable service,
Yep.
they couldn't send messages thoroughly. It was a challenge for them, and we didn't love that because of their experience.
The final thing that we didn't love was debark morning in the San Juan terminal. Unfortunately, the elevators were down, so everyone was having to go down the escalators with luggage and bags, and they were allowing 2 or 3 people max at a time, so it backed up the entire operation. No, it didn't impact us because we love relaxed debark and we just stayed on the ship and enjoyed our grounds club. But it did create stress and drama. In fact, those were the only queues that we experienced on our sailing.
Well, we did experience some queues for Lick Me Till ice cream, but it was well worth it.
Totally worth it. Okay, that is everything that we didn't love about our voyage. Now let's jump in and talk about a couple of things that we hated. Starting with the fact that we booked a lock-it-in rate, which means Virgin chose our stateroom location and they put us in underneath the pool. So from 4:45 a.m. until 7:30 a.m. every single morning, the pool equipment would run and it was loud. Now we did talk to Sailor Services and they offered some options for us. None of them unfortunately resolved the issue, but that was something that I hated because on Virgin you're up late as it is,
Yes.
and to be woken up from 4:45 until 7:30 every morning, I hated that.
We also noticed, and we mentioned it before, is how warm the ship was. The Manor had some really warm nights to it, which was
Yes.
annoying. And then just walking through the hallways and in general, our friends in the group were even commenting on how warm it was across the sailing.
Is this how warm the ships always are?
Right,
Remember?
they
Yeah.
do.
Another thing that I unfortunately hated about this sailing was the grounds club. The drinks were just never made right. In fact, on deck 7, one day Rocky came in with my drink and he's like, "Here, she made it wrong, but she poured it over ice and fixed it." And it was literally just watered down coffee. It was terrible. So I went back to ask for them to remake it, and she said, "Well, the cashier entered it wrong."
Okay.
Oh, okay. Can I get it fixed? Well, she entered it wrong. That's how she entered. You wanted it that way. Well, I didn't want it that way. And she kept going back and forth with me that the cashier entered it wrong. And I finally, which I hated, I finally had to be direct and say, "Can you just please remake this drink correctly?" And then she scowled and said, "She always gets it wrong in the computer."
That's not us problem.
It
That's a
was
you problem.
that was the only time across, I think, any of our Virgin
Yeah.
voyages where we've had a crew interaction where I was like, that was terrible.
Yeah.
But the drinks just weren't great at Grounds Club.
Yeah. You know, there's one more thing that I hated about this voyage,
What's that?
that it had to end. We had such a great time. I know that there were some things that we didn't love about our experience on board,
Yep.
and that happens.
Yep.
But we still managed to have such a great time in spite all of these different shortcomings and little issues. What a sailing this was.
So let's go into our final thoughts. Rocky, how many ships would you give Resilient Lady from Virgin Voyages?
This is such a wonderful, wonderful experience that we had. And it's really consistent with my experience that I've had on Valiant Lady as well.
Okay.
Based on everything that we experienced, the food was wonderful, the
Yeah.
drinks, the entertainment,
We've
everything there.
We've already told them all of that.
We have.
I'm curious. I am curious what his rating is going to be.
I'm going to give my experience on Resilient Lady 4.5 ships out of 5.
Okay. Okay. I was thinking you were going to hit 5.
I was
literally-
close.
You were? Okay. I
was.
thought you were going to say 5 because I'm a 4.5. I was a 4.5. It was a great experience. I would do that ship again in a
Yes.
heartbeat. I would do that sailing again. I would do that itinerary again. Loved all of the things that we've mentioned throughout here. I would book you on it again in a heartbeat. Like I would have no qualms about
Yes.
it. Loved the experience. There were a couple of things that caused me to take a bit off of that rating, but overall, it was an amazing experience on board Resilient Lady.
Well, there you have it. If you found things that resonated with you, or if you just want to learn more about our experience, drop it into the comments below. We will answer everything that comes into the comment section.
Yes. And if you haven't already, please go ahead and hit that subscribe button on the channel. We'd love to have you part of our cruise community.
And smash that notification bell so you know when we put out any other cruise-related content to the channel.
Hey, until our next Virgin voyage or any of our time on the sea, we will see you soon.
Bye.